Hello world, my name is Ilse, here I am again, and from AnaAkun I welcome you all to this new meeting with Patries Van Elsen. You know that Patries is a visual artist, a writer and spiritual coach, and I told you already a little bit about her history in the first video. You can always go and have a look there. Welcome, Patries. Thank you very much again for your cooperation and your contribution. I'm really happy to see you again.
Well,
So,
thank you so much for thank you so much for the invitation, Ilse. I'm very happy to be with you again, to have a chat and to share information. Thank you so much for your lovely program. I really adore it. Thank you.
I'm going to ask you a few questions today. It will be a little bit shorter. Can you tell a little bit more about the extrail messages that you get from the White Brotherhood? And where were these confirmations?
And the messages that I got in the beginning was always by dreams. In the beginning it was dreams, and maybe because my mental thoughts couldn't be in between. So I got in messages, in dreams, messages about places, the sacred places to go to. And they told me many times the dates, how many people to go, what kind of visualizations to do, or what kind of light connections to do. And later on, this was like in the 90s, later on, they started manifesting more clearly in my life. For example, in 2000, the 21st of June in 2000, the year 2000, together with a friend, we organized on the beach in one of the islands in the north of Holland, a meeting and gathering like with 40 people. And we did meditation and mantras all night, and we did also a silent night for reflection. And there were these 3 UFOs all night together with us, and we felt very much supported. And I remember that vision really activated me to do more investigation myself to UFOs and extraterrestrial life. And I think that was the point. I really gave permission, because that's one of the things, you have to give permission to receive their messages. If you don't, because there's something like free will. If you don't give permission, you won't receive that much. So when I gave really permission and I did my meditations, I started to receive telepathically messages from extraterrestrial guides in my meditations, and also from the White Brotherhood. It was in my way, because some people have automatic writing, but for me it was telepathically, instantly I knew it. So that's how I received the messages.
And do you have more confirmations about these?
It's always very important, if you receive a message, to write it down, because sometimes at the moment itself it's not clear about what it is. It might be a message for a future timeline or a future. And also it's very important that other people do have the same experience or the same information about going to the same place and doing the same kind of spiritual work. So what we normally do is, when you receive a message, you write it down, but you don't tell it to everybody, because you're going to wait for some kind of confirmation if other people have the same message. And for example, when I received from Rumiak in 2004 the message to go to Paititi, I waited really a long time to share it to others. And when I really heard that other people had the same message, I made it more public, and it's all manifested. And it was very interesting because when I made myself known, like I also received a message, I still wasn't invited for the expedition to Paititi for the spiritual work, because it was a very difficult place to go to. It's not around the corner. It's really, weeks of walking in the jungle. So you really had to be prepared, also physically and spiritually. So the physical part was also very important. But it was very interesting, because when I got the information, the invitation, I was on my bicycle in Amsterdam, and I had to go to the post office. and to get my post box, some mail. When I walked out the post office, I saw this money machine, this slot machine, and there was 50 euros hanging out. And I said, hey, how is that possible? And I looked this was a little alley. I looked there, and there was nobody on the street in the alley. And I thought, well, maybe that's a gift from the universe. So I took the 50 euros, went to my home. And when I got home, I put on my computer, and I see my mail. And then I realized that exactly on the same moment that I received this 50 euros, I got an email saying that I'm invited to go to Cusco to a big international meeting, which cost $550, and the invitation to Paititi. So I thought it was really a funny joke of the guides for me, it really felt like a confirmation to go there.
So it's really a confirmation, this one, no? That's really,
yeah,
really
I thought
fun.
it was a funny one. But for example, there was another one which was very strongly, was the one where we started looking for the location of the solar disk in Glastonbury. Because we received in 2004 various messages from the extraterrestrial guide that we had to go to Glastonbury to do the localization of the solar sun disk, which is there, and to localize it and to activate it. And so we went with friends there to find it. But we also asked for a confirmation. We did all our spiritual work, and we really felt it's, where the Chalice Well is and the Tor. It's just on the Chalice Hill. That's the location where we felt it very much, and very much connected with the sacred spring, the sacred well of the Chalice Well, which has this symbol of these two circles, which makes two circles that start making the flower of life. And when we were ready, we finished, we thought, well, we're going to do a little bit tour. We're going to look for some crop circles. And, we thought, well, we're finished. So we went to Alton Barnes to see if there's any crop circle new to visit. And they told us, no, there's only one that's already weeks there. But it's the White Horse, you can go there, maybe it's still there. So with the car, we went looking for it. And at one point in the fields, when we were really into the field, the person who was sitting in front of the car really grabbed his head, like saying, oh, what an energy, what an energy. Oh, it's like my head is exploding or something. And we just said, what's happening, And we looked outside, and then we saw in a split second, it was like a circle being made. It was incredible. It was just, just next to the car. So we stepped out and we started walking the borders to see, what symbol it was, because we couldn't see it because it's so big. So we walked the outsides, and then we realized there are two circles. It's the symbol of the tap from the Chalice Well. And in the middle was a circle. It was up, and the sunlight was going up to it. So it was really like a golden disc in the center. It was very beautiful. And for us, that was really the confirmation from the extraterrestrial guide about that the solar disk is really in Glastonbury, connected with the Chalice Well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful confirmation also. And to see really the form with a drone, you can see it perfectly. From downstairs, it's very difficult, but I would like to ask, if you were walking inside of this crop cycle, did you felt really the strong energy?
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, we took out our shoes, and the wheat, it picks, it hurts a little bit when you walk on
barefoot,
it. But we studied it, and there is, it's not broken, it's all bent. It goes like over.
They don't break anything. Yeah.
And the spirals of the circles, it's very nice formed. It's incredible. It's like weaving how they're, making layers in this circle. So it's very beautiful form. It was a very high vibration, and we were totally thrilled, excited, because wow, this was a circle forming in front of us, and we were the first ones walking it. It was amazing. And so we meditated a long time, and we found underneath the wheat crystals. I don't know how they formed, but there were crystals in the circles. was amazing, amazing experience. Really beautiful.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was actually, I'm very grateful. It was a big gift.
It was I believe you. Yeah, it's really amazing, and
Yeah.
it's a beautiful. It's a beautiful. It's magical, this experience. Now, why did you write your book?
Well, I wrote my book actually because many friends asked me to. They pushed me a little bit. You know, all the expeditions always had support on distance, which is really very helpful, very supportive. For example, in Paititi, when I was walking with my backpack, there's always a moment that you feel like, oh, I'm going to die. It's too much. It's too heavy. You know, I want to meditate. I don't want to do some sporting. And, you know, it's really physically very, very heavy. But at one point, I felt like my friends were lifting up my backpack at my back, and I didn't feel it anymore. It was amazing. So I was so grateful to my friends. I always wrote a diary and a report after it, you know, how it was, and also to be grateful to my friends, to thank them for the support, and you know, and to tell them what happened, because they actually many times on distance could feel that we had a problem, or we were very high in our energy, or we had a contact. Many friends knew it because they were so connected. But I wrote it all down, so I had big parts already on paper, and they said you really have to write a book. And I think it was also, I felt very much from the inside, it was part of my mission to write the book, to inspire people to listen to their heart and to do their mission, whatever they feel. And you know, I for myself, I received very strange messages sometimes, to go to places I didn't know with some people, and I didn't know why, but I felt it in my heart and I did it. So I really want to encourage people, if you feel something from your heart, just go, you know, do whatever you feel you have to do. It doesn't matter that somebody has another opinion. If you feel it, it's your connection. So yeah, it's also to stimulate people to listen to their heart.
Just do it. Do it.
Yeah,
That's
go
the
for
phrase.
it. Go for your
Go for
dreams,
it.
for yeah, your passion of life, your passion of whatever. Yeah.
Just do it. Beautiful. Patrice, how can your book contribute in this moment from quarantine and of the age that people are so scared about the virus and get sick and die, and you know.
Yeah. Well, the book can support because I think it's inspiring. It's you know, it's a nice adventure story to read, but there are quite a few how you call it, messages which can inspire you, or lessons or whatever. For example, it tells clearly how you can receive your cosmic name, which is a tool for you to remember your personal mission on the planet. It writes about all kind of experiences with about Xendras, which is an interdimensional portal, how you can recognize it, what kind of Xendras you have. So there's a lot of background information, and because it's a very personal story, very easy written, you can connect to the story, and during reading it, it's like you can experience it, and many people did write me that they did experience the same feelings that I had during those expeditions. So you can really activate your light body. You can get initiations reading the book. It can activate your memory and your connection to ancient times. So yeah, I think it's very, and you know, and the thing is about the virus and the fear that's all on the planet, this is a time of reflection, and to remember also, why are you incarnated in this time? What is your mission? And the book helps you with that.
Fantastic. We all have to buy the book.
Yeah.
Do you have more help for people in this turbulent time? I mean, a last little message maybe you can give to the people to motivate them, to help them?
It's a time, if you stay inside, to reflect. So it's very, you know, it's don't let you be influenced by all kind of, chaotic news or whatever. Always feel your heart and your opinion. You have the truth inside of yourself. And it's love that brings you above the fear that surrounds the planet. It's love that brings you through times of virus or illness or whatever. And it's just, you have to know that we are in this very dualistic world, and the light is getting very intense, but also the darkness is very intense. And this field of those two fields, it's going up, up, up. So there is a point that you really have to make this jump to a higher consciousness or unconditional love. You not get affected by the fear, and not, you really get into your heart, because that's the door. Your heart is the door to a higher consciousness and awareness. And that's the step we have to make all together to get this beautiful transition of our planet and humanity. The thing is, if you go into your heart, you feel your truth. Because people tell all kinds of things. There are millions of videos, but the only one what knows what's true is your own heart, is your own consciousness. And we have even brain cells in our heart. That's all, how you call it, tested, proved. So your heart really knows if a story resonates with you or doesn't resonate. So yeah, don't get distracted by all the chaos. Just really stay into your heart and remember what's your passion of life and go for it.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
well,
write it down,
really...
make a drawing, share it, and when the time's there, you can fly out again.
Exactly. This is a really special message for the listeners from AnaAkun. So that's really sweet. Well, thank you very much for this interview, Patries. It was really a pleasure to receive you again with all this valuable information that you shared with us.
Well, thank you so much, Ilse, for the invitation. Thank everybody for listening. If you have any questions, send me a mail. Look everything up. There's a lot of information at my website, www.patriesvanelsen.nl. So be in contact, and hope to see you again with a lot of questions. And thank you so much, Ilse. I really enjoyed talking to you, and your light in this world with all your messages yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Patries. It was really a pleasure to have you. Loads of light for everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.